Yeah, oui. That's the amount of the extent to my French that I know. But you know, we'll move on from that. I know that you're bilingual. You can throw some Danish into the mix if you want, but
could if I wanted to, but
not going to. Fair enough. So where do you lean? I feel like this one's a little bit more of a obvious choice when it comes to the teams that are currently on.
I think the disc covered it pretty well, saying that ForZe obviously are the heavy favorites coming into this one. Also, considering the maps that we're going to play here, it's going to start off on Train. You know, I would say one of the more tactical maps, one of the maps where you need some sort of structure, you need some sort of synergy in between the lineup in order to function properly on a hard T side. So. Just judging by the maps, judging by what we know and judging by what we saw yesterday, there's no doubt that ForZe are the heavy favorites. That being said, though, Swedes have a tendency sometimes to surprise, and they are good at Counter-Strike. Individually speaking, Sweden produces some of the best individuals over there, and I'm looking forward to see what these guys in the screen right here can do against ForZe, right? DC, we saw him yesterday with the AWP. I think that's going to be interesting to see. Can he do anything against XePower, who is a player that by many is considered not only one of the best players within the CIS region with that gun, but potentially maybe even in the world. He's a big, bright talent.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a tough match, and especially when you choose this map, that means that you go straight onto the T side, which, well, we've seen many teams in the past get stuck in the mud when it comes to Train. But either way, we do have investment into a couple of HEs in the pistol round here. I'm wondering where those are going to go.
Yeah, it looks like they want to take some inside control here. Make sure not to die. XePower in a very powerful position, though. If he can hit the first shot here, that's going to be good for him. He can't, but he gets away, and that's nice. He gets the information. He can now tell the teammates to rotate around. And I think we're going to see the inside hit here in just a second. Flash goes down. Almas cannot connect the shots. XePower still in a great position. And it seems like they're just trying to duel this one. I'm not sure what that is. I'm not sure I like that, but at the same time, they gain some control over the outside area.
Yeah, DZ's managed to get quite far, and with Flit already so low on HP, good chance, but can't connect, and Flit take his head clean off. The trade will eventually come in, but leaving it into a 2 versus, well, now just 1 player remaining. Minio with an awful lot to do, and they're just going to close in on his position. ForZe make that pistol look relatively easy. It seemed like they had the read pretty much all the way through.
Yeah, it was an interesting approach to this pistol round. I see why they wanted to go down lower ramp and just sit 2 guys and try to duel with the Glocks. If you win that duel, you get control over inside, that's it. But if you lose that duel to Almas, which they did, you don't really connect the shots. You look silly quite fast there. So there was an idea behind it. There was a plan. It didn't really work out. It needed them to connect the shots, connect the bullets, which they weren't able to. And by then, ForZe managed to pull off this pistol round. Not really the start this Swedes would have hoped for. I think if we are going to put some stock into these Swedes, we need to see them get off to a good start. We need to see them build up some economy and at least make ForZe sweat a little bit.
This round, of course, just the SMGs farming up cash. Actually, heavy SMG investment coming in from ForZe. So clearly feeling confident that they can make that bonus money going into this round, because going into the next, I'm not expecting to see any upgrades whatsoever.
There we go. That's
maybe one.
Yeah. That's a start. Flit going down. That was a nice deagle shot, and I like the fact that the Swedes are just taking it chill. They don't rush anywhere. They don't overextend themselves. They just walk around, see if they can get another pick. Maybe ForZe is going to make a mistake here. I like the fact that they're playing the odds as good as they can, given the circumstances with having 3 Glocks and just a single deagle now. XePower in a very powerful position once again. It's not going to end well, is it?
Takes quite a lot of damage, still gets away with at least a couple of kills, but even the 2 that have managed to come in for the T side is decent, considering they've got a buy coming, and as mentioned, there's not going to be a huge amount of cash for ForZe buying into the next round, so...
No, you're definitely right. They can't afford to lose any more players. Like Jerry cannot go down, which he does, and there we go. This is already a very successful round for Marskalk. Being able to bring down 3 guys in this situation, as you said now, they're going to buy up with the AK-47s. They're going to have some utility behind it, whereas for ForZe, that's going to be a lackluster buy. We do get an AWP on XePower. That's going to be interesting to see how he's going to use that one. Whereas for the rest of the players, we're going to see an SMG, we're going to see a FAMAS, we're going to see some lackluster utility. This is a way in for Marskalk. Good start to the game despite losing the pistol round.
Yeah, and they have an AWP of their own as well. It's still going to be tough in that battle, and actually early on with some nades attempted to do some damage, and I never mind seeing something like that. The only thing that worries me a little bit is those 2 nades when you have so little other utility is a problem, but okay. Flying through the air.
I like that.
Power goes down.
Yeah, well, there you go. Establish some dominance, establish some presence on the map already, makes XePower second guess whether he actually is the best AWP player on the server. I like that. Oh, and there we go.
Oh my God.
Does it again. Maybe a little bit more luck involved in this one, but again, you know, great intuition by DC, a double opening kill here, and this is a round that Marskalk need to win. There's no way they're gonna lose this one. And I like the fact that they're once again taking it chill, they're grouping up, making sure not to make any overextension on the maps, not going down a single man anywhere, taking any stupid chances. They're gonna fake some outside presence and they're gonna end up inside. The problem is Jerry, he's gonna listen to all of this, so he can probably call off the rotation. If they do decide to make sound, they don't though. This is well played by the Swedes. They're really optimizing every single chance they have of winning this round. Face crack all by himself.
Yeah, he's got a lot to do. Smoke gonna go down and just basically trying to hold onto the cross, try and deny them a free cross to the bomb plant, and he does manage to pick off one, giving them at least opportunities here. There's not much utility either for the T side to play with, although the CTs are in a similar situation already. Back down to a 3 versus 3 with only seconds gone off the clock. This is not a bad position now, but a nice shot from Minio holding. DZ gets his 3rd kill of the round, and while Jerry in a 1 versus 3, no kit, no utility, I can't see any way that he wins this round.
No, not a single way. He's probably going to try to make it expensive for the Swedes and see if he can take down a weapon or 2, maybe even get to save an AWP, but nope, DC says no. 4 kills for him in this round. That was very impressive by the guy. We did talk about him, the desk talked about him. We need to see him step up. We need to see him go toe-to-toe against XiPower. So far, so good. 1-0 in the favor of DC. This pick right here, that's beautiful, isn't it? Run boost, hits the shot, you know, nails it right in the coffin, just as he lands on the ground. That's not an easy thing to do at all, so very impressive by DC. And I'd say the Swedes got off to a good start here. Well played by Marskalk.
Well, we're actually going to see a force buy coming up. A bit of extra money for XiPower having the AWP once again, but I guess this just comes down to into the next round. The buy wouldn't really have been that much better. Would have just been SMGs instead. So they're going to try and risk it early, have the chance to break the economy of their opposition.
Sure. And it also puts a lot of stock into XiPower, right? They know that when he has an AWP in his hand, they're going to be dangerous. Doesn't matter though if the AWP on the opposing team, DC, is going to keep doing what he's doing right now, getting another entry frag. This time around on face crack. He's playing well so far, and that's good to see. XiPower, he's really seeking the opportunity here. He knows there's a guy to the right. Question is, will Slyden give him the opportunity to take him down? Doesn't seem like it.
Well, the thing is, will they even expect an AWP? Like, it's a bit of a weird purchase to have in this round, so may not necessarily expect him to be there. XiPower is going to be able to get one. They now actually look to execute in that direction as well, so he will have the opportunities here. It's just whether the utilities use well enough to basically get the bomb down and give him no chance of any sort of retake.
Surely, and it is, right? They're putting down 2 smokes, completely eliminating XiPower. He's going to have to push out in a rather uncomfortable position. Flip, though, he's in a very powerful position here. That's going to be a sort of like a one-way smoke for him. If he can catch off one of the guys, then that's going to be dangerous. He does 1 and 2. That's beautiful from Flip. Getting a 3rd one as well. 3 headshots, and that's it. Round over. XiPower finish it up. That was beautiful play by Flit right there. Absolutely making sure he's in the best possible position to deal with that, and then he's hitting some nice, crisp, clean shots with the AK-47. Look at that.
The CIS power, just pure headshots all the way through, and even an extra kill coming off the back of the AWP, and just look at the damage it's done, Pimp, to the economy of the T side. They finally get themselves around on the board, broken back straight away. They built barely any loss bonus. Already DZ's going to be dinked. He tries for that early hero play, just an aggressive push out. There is eventually a trade back, but I think it's all she wrote already. Only the pistols remaining. In fact, A's, well, he's now retrieved the Deagle, but he'd need a miracle to pull that one off. And ForZe, after what was an early round win for the T side, stabilized. And that's now a bit of a worry, because you've given them that extra money. They've managed to retrieve some weaponry along the way. And I think the worst thing that could have happened is you boost ForZe early on the CT side of Train.
I definitely agree. That's, you know, that's typical Counter-Strike right here. The game was so close. The other round was so close. Flip making those, you know, 3 crisp, clean kills with the AK-47, making sure ForZe wins that round. Had it gone the other way, we would have been looking to Marshall, you know, being in a very comfortable position now. So game is relatively close. Scoreline doesn't really reflect it, and that does suck for Marshall, right? Because they actually had a decent start to this game. Now XiPower once again in a powerful position, getting the first kill, missing the second opportunity. Almaster is there to back him up. Jerry pushing in from behind, and this is too easy, Tom, right? This goes way too fast. They're surviving all 5 guys. They're being put no pressure whatsoever on the money of the ForZe side. So, if I'm Marshall right now, I'm a little bit worried, I'd probably say, you know, because they were so close of breaking ForZe in the beginning of that game. They had them under control, actually, but didn't really work out. Another thing to notice is that DC could not afford the AWP this time around either, and he's been powerful with that one so far.
Well, yeah, they've won 1 round. He has 5 kills. 4 of them were in that 1 round. So
Yep.
it kind of says it all, like, not having that AWP. And actually, all 5 kills have been with the AWP because he caught the man trying to push up ladder and the round was stolen away. So, hey, he hasn't had a kill with anything else. It's still fairly early days, and the T side of Train is a tough one, but they really could have used those early rounds. XP Power, maybe a little bit overconfident, very aggressive. Trade is there from FaceCrack, so not the end of the world, but he does take a lot of damage in response, and Jerry just going to be lurking on the edge of the flames, but it seems like the T's have other ideas as they do make their way in towards this B side. Currently only 1 defender, but they're taking their time.
Looks like they're just gonna explode down the lower ramp. 1 flash, 3 guys goes down. That's gonna be tough to hold on off to. They get control. Elmasir playing the position well here, staying alive. That's very important. Missing on Molotov. They may come down to hurt him here, but they can't really fight him. And now he's pushing up. He's getting taken down by Ace, and this is it, right? Now you have control over the bomb side. Flit, though, coming in quick, see if he can do something about it. Maintaining a powerful position, taking down FaceCrack, and this is it. This is Marskalk's round. Now don't mess it up.
Flit once again, though, a prime position to cause some pain, but it's not going to be 3. And you can see Jerry almost just waiting on the ramp. He's hoping for a bomb plant. There was a man lurking on the other side of the map waiting for rotations. Sladen not spotting anyone. So I think they can pretty much work out that he is going to be on the flank, but with 20 seconds left, it's all going to be on timing, and, well, Manti is going to be able to peek him from behind. So it is going to be another round for the T side. Did still come a little bit too close with a few of the plays that were made, but hey, it's a round nonetheless.
It works. It counts. Puts them up to 2 so far in the game, and that's okay. We do have to remember, if you're sitting out there watching Counter-Strike for one of the first times ever, playing Train on the T side, that can always be a rough time. If you can get away with 5 or maybe even 6 rounds on that T side, you've done a good job, normally at least. So it's not too bad for the Swedes just yet, but let's see how this one goes. We did say DC without an AWP, you know, he made it work with the AK-47, got another opening kill. That's his 3rd in this game already. So he is making a lot of impact, and I like to see that now. We do see ForZe as well. This is what I like to see from the Russians, right? They are taking charge of the map. They're making sure, right, alley control, that's going to be ours. We're not going to allow you any space whatsoever, so now you have to do connector or you have to do inside. As simple as it is. So some nice proactive Counter-Strike coming out from the CIS side of ForZe here. Making sure not to give too much space to the Swedes.
And it is looking like XP Power might be going for a bit of aggression once again. He got caught off in the previous round. They're going to try and retake pop control. So they give some of these positions up early to try and take other spots away.
Yeah.
And then go back for them later. And it seems to be relatively successful. But look at the rotation. There's no T's actually pushing into the site just yet. Already 3 players sat on B, so going for a bit of a read. The bomb's still down in the spawn, so no real decision made from the T's yet as to what direction they're actually going to be going in.
Oh, this is dangerous. DC managed to sneak his way out, and there's nobody getting spotted anywhere. I think he's going to walk into a guy in Pop Dog now, and he's probably going to get that kill. Nope, Flit is ready for it, waiting, and that's the problem. DC, he was the key to this round. Now, Ivy is obviously open. A is finding Flit now, but it is a little bit of a weird scenario. Jerry in a strong position. He stays here, gets the kill, stays alive. FaceCrack as well coming in from behind. This is going to fall apart from the Swedes. This is a messy round, right? Because they were so close for DC. Had he gotten that kill, that could have been very, very glorious for the Swedes. It didn't happen. Flit was ready for it, and you know, that's Counter-Strike sometimes. It takes 1 kill, it takes 1 single situation to go the wrong way, and then obviously you're gonna look a little bit silly.
Well, I think for Marskalk as well, they were really unlucky there that was the 1 round that it was a double pop setup coming in for ForZe, which is not something you commonly see. It's more like you throw him once or twice throughout the map, and the fact that it was that time. Otherwise, Jerry is 100% just going to be watching the ladder. There's no reason for him to be watching any other way. So the fact that, there's a second player just meant that he was screwed because he was already watching exactly where he peaked. So a bit unlucky. Unfortunately, that's the way it goes, as you said, and now going into things, the T side are going to be struggling to get any sort of purchase onto the board.
Yeah, it's going to be CCs, it's going to be Deagles, a little utility behind it. Maybe they have a strat they want to throw out, you know, 3 guys with a set of nades. You could do some outside smokes and maybe see if you can force the close-up duels, and I think that's exactly what they want to do here. Smokes coming out. Looks like an Ivy rush, so they're gonna put it to the ForZe players now. Gonna try to force the close duels with the CCs. Let's see if Flitz falls for it. Puts down a Molotov, puts down a great nade. That's going to be great. Let's see if he can hold on to it. First kill goes his way. Second kill as well. Third kill right there. Flit is having a great game, isn't he, so far?
Yeah, high impact frags over a couple of rounds and then leaves his team to pick up the pieces. Minio, 1v4 Deagle clutch would have been the best play, but it's not going to be happening. And again, from those early rounds that you see maybe a slip up or two coming in for ForZe, but I feel like ultimately at the moment they're fairly stable in their CT side.
I would agree with that, but I think the fact that they're only on 2 rounds right now, Marshall, is not necessarily fair in terms of how they're playing the game. I think they're actually playing well right now. You can see every round they have a purpose. Every round they seem to have a plan. They're sticking to it. They're trying to play with and off each other. It's not like we saw with ForZe yesterday where the teams that just fell completely apart, going one by one. So despite not winning the rounds they would like to win, they still try to do it as a team, and they still try to stick together. And I think that's a little compliment from my side, at least, considering the inexperience in this team as well. They're playing on a big stage. It's potentially one of the biggest games of their careers, So the fact that you're sticking to your game plan and trying your best despite it not working right now is also something to take note of.
I think they've been quite good at finding space as well. Like we saw in the previous round, that push all the way through onto A side.
That's a questionable play, though. Not sure what the plan was right there. I like the smoke, though, but if you put down a Molotov in that position, there's no way, Jerry can be in that pop dog, and then you can fall down afterwards if you want to. So maybe a little bit of a misplay there from Minio, but he took a chance. Didn't work out this time around. Once again, DC left with an AK-47 in his hand. I would love to see an AWP. Now, we saw, as you said, 4 kills in that one round. Did a double opening kill with the AWP. He was very successful with it. Ever since, he hasn't been able to afford it. Not really the position you want to be in if you're the star player and the star AWP of your team. You want that big green gun in your hands as much as possible.
Yeah, it's definitely like a T-side thing where you sometimes drop the AWP, but if it's so successful, it does seem weird. They push right into our Mazer. It's only going to be a 1-for-1 trade, but for the CT side, already with an advantage, XT Power just holding the cross, going to make things even tougher for the Ts. I think they kind of almost have to hope for a bomb plant, but it looks like it's been dropped a little bit further forward than they would have liked. And yeah, retrieving this is not going to be possible. 10 seconds left. A's almost just has to die just to make sure he gets that extra loss bonus. And again, a relatively easy round for ForZe as they get that early pick. And then from then on out, it was just about trading.
Yeah, simple from ForZe. They didn't really have to do anything. It's also a little bit too easy, right? Look at this position from XT Power. He just gets 2 relatively easy kills. He's not forced off with any flashes. There's no smokes covering for him. It's relatively easy for a guy of this caliber just to run around and shoot, basically a shooting gallery. And you can't do that against a player like XT Power. You've got to force him into some uncomfortable positions, or at least making the shots a little bit harder for him to hit. So tough for the Swedes. They're going to do another outside push here. Face crack in a great position. Getting the first one, the second one. Not the third one, though. Minio punishing him with a CT. Flip going down as well, and now we have a round in our hands. That AK-47 could be very dangerous in the hands of Minio. Getting 2 kills already. ForZe have been pushed away from the bomb side. Jerry inside heaven. Question is, who's going to see who first here? Minio with a 3rd kill. That's a beautiful round from him so far. What can Jerry do about this?
Oh, he's dropped the gun. I think that's the most important thing. They haven't actually made their way too far onto the site, so this is still going to be very tough for them to get any further forward. And of course, XT Power, he's always getting a kill, at least it seems, almost every single round. Manti with just a P250 Kevlar and basically hoping for a miracle shot, maybe praying that XT Power forgot to buy head armor or something of the sort. At that point, I don't think there was anything he could really do. Again, for a pistol round, if you take it in isolation, that's not bad, but in the grand scale of things, with the amount of money the CT side have already built up, it doesn't make that much of a difference.
No, and that's the problem, right? It doesn't make a difference right now. They're having a lot of rounds where you see the potential, you see what they want to do, and you see 1 or 2 kills goes the other way, or 1 duel is being run in a certain area on the map, and all of a sudden you have a gifted position, but they're just not able to pull it off right now. Once again, we see DC not going for the AWP, and he actually had a lot of money for it this time around. He started out with 7,000 in the bank, as we watch XT Power once again, just doing what XT Power does the best. Getting an opening kill, being aggressive with the AWP. He's playing hearts out right now. So it's a proactive choice. He do not want to have the AWP on the T side for whatever reason. The one successful buy round they had, that was him getting 4 kills with the AWP. So questionable. Not sure I agree with it, but if he doesn't feel comfortable with it, then there's no reason to force him into it. Slyden had a rough game so far, sitting at 1 kill. He's trying to push out here. He's behind the electric box. Jerry is a little bit unaware where he is. He's afraid he's up close, and they're being spread out right now this week.
They're trying to make plays to almost fake out onto that B site, but there's still a player ready and waiting. Nice entry kill, though. That will give them the bomb plant. XiPower's rotated in, and he is going to be able to drop one of these players. Now, the problem of the offense being split is it gives individual duels, and that's exactly what ForZe want. Leave it down to this 1 versus 1. Minio's had a step up over the last couple of rounds. He has a good opportunity here. But Flit has been one of the top performers, 12 and 7, coming in from behind. He's timed this absolutely perfect. And it's a little bit of a misspray initially, but he has enough time to correct it.
Close. Once again, close for Marshall. Not getting it done, though. Sliden, he went outside. He actually got 2 kills, and he sold that fake pretty well. Made it tough for the inner guy from ForZe to do anything about it, but I mean, XiPower once again just walking in with the AWP, getting a kill, then walking close up with a P250. Absolutely destroying a guy from Marshall, and that's it, right? That's round over. Flit is in a great position to win their one-on-one, and he does so. So, again, a lot of promising signs from this region. He just can't finish it off right now, and that may be the story of this first map of Train, you know, that it was competitive. And there we go. Once again, we see the AWP in the hands of DC. He gets the opening kill. Why did we have to wait so long, Tom?
Yeah, I genuinely don't understand, especially when individually he played well with it, so it can't even be like a mental thing. He opens up space, Minio's now able to get him from behind, and again, there's going to have to be some sort of hero play from ForZe, but one does seem to arise almost every single time. However, Minio, he should have put the nail in the coffin of this round at least, but Jerry is still going to be able to find one back, and without clearing his position, there could be some trouble. Almeza gets an individual duel as well, so it's back from a 5v2 into a 3v2. However, Almeza tagged relatively low. I wonder if they're going to actually go for this.
Highly doubted. I think they should just see if they can get a few weapons up, guys. For Marshall, not going to happen. Sliding with another great round, another double kill. Oh, sorry, another kill for him. That's 3 in 2 rounds. For him, that's great. He had a rough start to the game. Gary is able to take him down, put some pressure on that economy, and that's all we can hope for now. Saving the AK-47, that's going to be fine. Taking down another guy, that's going to be fine. And I think ForZe is making the best out of a bad situation here. So good for them, good for the game that we get a 3rd round on Marshall, and good for DC that he hopefully gets some confidence with the AWP now. We've seen it 2 times now. They won 3 rounds, 2 of them is on the back of DC getting opening kills with the AWP. Yeah. So could we please continue to see that for the last 2 rounds? I beg you. Let's make this game competitive, because you guys are playing well, just not getting it done.
And that's the thing, like, we're looking now at still a possibility of them getting 5 rounds. Like, it's not going to be easy, but if you end with that, you get yourself a pistol, you're really not in a bad situation at all going into the CT side of Train. Especially when it's their map choice as well, so clearly one that they want to play. So I'm not that worried just yet. It's just that they need to grind out these last couple of rounds. And, well, I'm glad that we do see that AWP carried forward into this next round.
Yeah, definitely. It's not the game plan that worries me. It's the fact they don't capitalize of the chances they're getting gifted, so to speak, right? They had plenty of chances and opportunity to get more rounds on the board. Couldn't pull it off. Now we see another duel here between DC and Flit. He's been successful with it so far. This time around, though, Flick gets the better of him, and he also takes down Sliden to 7 HP, and he's now deciding to push up with a P250. That's going to be dangerous for him, and he goes down. There we go. All of a sudden, it's a 5 versus 2. 4 versus 2, though, and they get inside control now, so that could be something here. XiPower, don't overextend. He's playing it defensively. He's waiting now. He knows that he don't have to take any unnecessary duels. Question is, does Flit know that too?
Definitely knows he's there. He's heard the scope of the AWP.
This could be a nice double kill. Could be.
He gets absolutely nothing. And the problem is both players on the opposite sides of the map. Okay, Minio does get 1 on Spacecraft, but there was never any way he was going to win that with such low HP. And yeah, that split offense made things very, very difficult in the end. I think they were just really hoping that somehow they bait all of the players onto that B side. And although it kind of did happen, the rotation was quick enough in the end.
Yeah, there was some great awareness from Flit right there. He was aware that he could be up close, and he was basically zoomed in and waiting for him. So great job by him. It seems like ForZe right now, they have, as you said, they have full control over the CT side. At no point were they really pressured to a point where they couldn't buy, right? Ever since round 4, I think they've been fully buying every single round. So it's been tough for Marshall to fight their way back into this game. Once again, we see a decent buy here coming out. A few Galils, an AWP on DC, and a few grenades on IS. There's definitely some potential here, but having a hard time seeing how they're gonna be successful with playing this slow every single round. It seems like ForZe like it. It seems like ForZe they play some mid-round aggression as well. Not necessarily the best thing if you're playing a slow style on the T side. So there's a lot of stuff going against the Swedes right now. Question is, can they pull off another round? It'll be great for the game. It'll make it competitive, as you said. A pistol round on the CT side, you'll definitely back into it. But Flit, he says no. Once again, taking DC down. Hasn't been that successful as of late with the AWP. He's in a great position once again now, sitting at 17 frags. Jerry, though, goes down.
Face crack as well. A couple of entries into the site, but with XE power and Flit with this double AWP setup, just sitting back waiting, it's going to be difficult still for them to get this round done. At least managing to even things up, but Almeza with a quick headshot on his left into the 1v1, and Manti gets both. A nice end to the half for Marskalk, but we'll be back after a short break to see if they can take the pistol and make this competitive. A strong first half in the end from ForZe, but it definitely seemed like there was some life in Marskalk in their map choice. And going onto the CT side with a pistol win, you still think they've got a chance?
I think they got a chance. They gotta win the pistol. They gotta make sure to get DC on an AWP straight away. Make sure that he can close down XE power, and if that is successful, I think there's definitely a chance for the Swede. Now, question is, how is this gonna pan out? They're gonna be aggressive towards lower with a CC. They're gonna face 3 guys right here, and he's gonna go down. Elmasir is gonna get the second one as well, and that is not a good position. But DC and IS are raiding. I don't think they're gonna expect him to be in heaven. He could be very influential here. He hasn't given up his position yet, and he's definitely gonna take down the bomb planter right here. And that almost fell short. But Elmasir with another double kill. He's for 4 in the round, and now they know where DC is. This is tough for him, isn't it? 55 HP, a USP and a Dream. Can he pull it off? Nope. Flit takes him down. I mean, basically Marskalk did every single thing in this round right. They pushed up lower. They had a good chance of getting the CC to work right here. Elmasir hitting a nice shot though, closing him down. They had DC hiding in heaven. They had a third guy, a fourth guy here, being ready to help him when they came down lower. They had 4 guys in position to deal with the ForZe players, yet they lost every single important duel. So it's been the theme of the game so far, Tom. They're playing well, they're doing the right things, they're just not executing well enough.
And it does help if one of your players gets 4 headshots and then an assist on the last one. It's always nice. It's fairly comfortable for the others, but now we come in with a double scout buy. I'm always a fan, but at the same time, I feel like they need to pull something off in this round. Otherwise, they really are just going to have to grind out like 12 rounds in a row to even survive in the map.
Yeah, definitely. And I think maybe it's a little bit... does he see him? He saw him. There we go. There we go. Elmasir takes down Manti. A little bit unlucky there with the position. But as you said, this is the time where you need to fight back. You can't go down, 13-4, 14-4 against a team like ForZe and expect to grind the game back. You gotta take some chance. You gotta take some risks. And unfortunately, it doesn't look like it's gonna pay off here for Marskalk. They're pushing out towards Ivy and they're spotting every single player though. DC gets the kill here and face crack goes down as well to Snide, and the scouts are proving to be very effective. A 3v3 scenario. Bomb is down as well. Flit in a very uncomfortable position. Mio getting another sick kill with the CC. This could be dangerous, Tom. Round is definitely up in there.
Yeah, they're in with a chance, especially with Flit already being tagged, and they have the right weaponry to deal with that. 35 seconds left on the clock, and it's not going to be the most comfortable position for ForZe to get the bomb down. If they can, though, I think that's where Marskalk will really struggle. No utility, no kit, and they have to peek back into some of these angles. They almost have to hope the ForZe make a mistake and give them a shot. And I don't think they're going to be doing that. You can see them sitting passively around the back of the trains, just holding angles that peeking into with the scout will be incredibly difficult to take. And just taking a little bit, there you go, Flit. He just hasn't been missing all the way through this map. It's been tough for Marskalk to deal with even just the individual players on the ForZe roster. And although it definitely got dicey within that round, it's that same scenario. Like, they brought it close, but the fact that they're not winning it means that ultimately it's not a problem for ForZe.
Yeah, and I think that's been the story of the game so far. They've gotten so close plenty of times. There's been a few occasions where you could say they maybe missed opportunities, but in general, I think what comes down to this game is the fact that the ForZe players are just stronger individuals. They're winning the duels, they're making sure to get the double kills when needed to, and if you're playing against a team that is so much better than you individually, it's tough to win even though you're doing the right thing. Oh, the Flit once again combining with XE power on this round is just quickly falling apart for Marskalk. Obviously didn't invest anything into it, so that was to be expected. That being said though, they're running out of time, 14-4. It's about to be Minio left alone with a Deagle. He has been having a great game so far. You can see that there's a lot of skill in this guy, but seems like he's been the only one together with DC who's actually managed to make an impact in the game, and that's not enough. Again, you're facing Power, you're facing Flit, who's having a wonderful game as well. You need somebody to step up to the occasion and challenge them, you know, on their own playing field, and they haven't been able to do that so far. I've been impressed with the way they approach the game. I gotta say that's a compliment despite being down 14-4, but the lack of execution, the lack of individual brilliance has been too much for them to handle.
Yeah, and that's something that ForZe have had in heaps.
Yeah.
Like every single player has had a moment or two. They're going to go into this one, still a little bit of a bonus with a MAC-10, but you can almost use that player as cannon fodder, just a bit of a distraction for the AWP, which has been purchased up, and the rifles on the remaining players with a decent amount of utility. Even if they lose this round, we know that ForZe have got another buy coming as well, so this is a really tough position for the CT side, and with limited utility already down to 4 grenades with 1 minute 20 left on the clock, they're going to have to start taking risks, start gambling to find information, and if they don't, I fear this execution onto the B site is probably going to be enough to take them down. The push coming back in, already face cracked. There you go, there's the jump around, the distraction that also gains a kill, and with the site already lost, you almost feel like the CTs just have to give this up.
Yeah, that's a little bit unfortunate, isn't it? Right, that was lucky by face crack. Let's put it that way. You don't really hit that shot every single time, and at this point, you just save your guns. There's no way you can retake this bomb site. There's no way you can do anything about it, and that's what they come to realize now as well. But it's too late. Flit is already in position, getting his 23rd kill in the game, and here we are. Match point for ForZe, 15-4. It's been absolutely a dominant performance by the CIS squad right here. There's been a few moments in the game where you thought, especially in the beginning, when there was a scrappy game, it was back and forth, and money wasn't really established for either team. That's when you thought, all right, this game, it got something, it can deliver, it can be exciting. Unfortunately, Marskalk haven't been able to put up with the fight. Power, Flit, Jerry, all the guys have been too strong, and they're looking to end this one fast.
They've got a double XM, so I'm excited at least. 2 shotguns brought in, the last-ditch effort. A nice start from A's as well. Managing to get them an opener. And this is going to turn into a brawl. There's a chance here for Flair. How does he get both of those kills? I don't know what happened to Minio, clearly blinded by something. The XM from behind as well is actually going to be able to retrieve an AWP. There's a chance here with the bomb down, but it gets sneakily retrieved. And they are just going to be holding that angle. The SG probably not going to be having any problems. And after missing the shot, I think this 1v2 is not going to happen. 16-4 in the end, a fairly dominant performance coming out from ForZe with some glimmers of hope from Marskalk, but you now feel going into a map where on the T side they really struggled yesterday. They're going to have to get off to a very good start.
Let's not forget that this was the pick of Marskalk as well. They picked into Train. They thought to themselves, we have a chance of making it against ForZe on Train. Unfortunately, as you said, too many times it just came down to the fact that individually they weren't good enough to deal with the ForZe players. Power having a great game with the AWP. MVP of this game obviously is Flit with the rifle kills, with the SG kills all over the place. Very assertive. He did a great job. So ForZe off to a good start, whereas for Marskalk, they have to reinvent themselves for the second map.
Well, we'll be able to see if they're able to do that, as coming up shortly, we will have a little bit of nuke for you.